Hello Total War gamers, my name is Deacon and welcome back to our United Provinces campaign. And as we continue where we left things last time, we pretty much done all that we wanted. It's still turn 1 and we're gonna hit the end turn. What I'm most curious to see is what happens here with the pirates, because they may try and kill our India men here. Which of course I'd very much like to keep, but we should have moved our army this way instead of that way. Now Prussia has attacked whom? Austria. Should have killed that alliance. And we're gonna decline. I have no interest in a war with Prussia, because we are trading with them. So we're gonna have to keep them as our friends. They're a Protestant nation, one of the few along with Great Britain. And hopefully we have a bright future together. And we're not so interested in... There they come. Pirates are moving in on us. How nice is this? Now I'm gonna have to save this game, prevent any crashes before or after. And we even have a reinforcement of our India men, which I don't really need. I want these 3 and capture them. So first we'll have to switch to chain shot and then do the best we can with our flutes. The India men, I'm just gonna retreat off the field. We have the wind against us, so I'm gonna sit all the way over here, so we can move. Let's see. Oh yeah. So we want to move this way, and then we are moving with half wind. And there's a lot we can do with half wind. It's actually a very good angle to move at. Now they are turning to our right flank, and if we sail alongside them, we're going to be at a downwind position. So there's one thing we could do, and that is move this way. We'll be moving at a slower speed than them, but the other side is you move this way and then withdraw in a moment. So against the wind we can't really maneuver, but we're gonna fall in line with them and take sort of the same course, just slightly more against the wind. And you can see our speed is reduced as soon as we move more towards that end. But this way we should be at a nice angle to shoot at their sails, whilst they hitting them from this angle makes it harder for them to shoot at us, because they shoot mostly from the front, then also to the side. But now our brig here is probably gonna overtake the flutes because it's considerably faster. Also means that after overtaking I can move it more towards a forward position and start taking shots at the lead ship here, which I suppose is their general as well. Can be nice to have them surrender first, or to get them killed first, so they lose morale. morale mechanics apply just as much in naval battles as they do in land battles. I don't want to be in the movement path of our fleet here. So as it appears now, I think this fleet is not gonna engage in our battle anytime soon. It's more in a backward position. So I think we'll have to draw first blood with our brig. It's gonna cross their T against the wind. So they have the Quebecs actually have better sailing capabilities than we do. But and they also have superior speed. But the brig, then again, is one of our fastest ships, along with sloops. So this is also one that really can perform. However, if they are matching their broadsides with our brig, then they're also going to turn against the wind. And here we are. We've opened fire, and they have very large sails, these Quebecs. So for them to look at this, it could very well be that with one more volley we actually destroy quite the part of their sails. Here comes the second volley. But now you see that they are still gaining on us. Now there goes the front mast. And now the other vessels are starting to turn towards us. So they're taking broadsides and they're moving their front towards us. So this brig is going to try to also finish off the rear mast. And now turn around. We're going to move towards the front a little bit more with this one, because I want to avoid their front guns. But if we keep our speed reduced to almost nothing, their they won't be able to hurt our sails much. So there goes the mast. Now what we'll do is turn around and hit them from the rear. So this one is completely immobilized, and if we're suffering damage, the green bars here under the and now here's another one coming. So we should start to focus fire on this last vessel over there, and they won't, because this one is still in their sights, which is where this flute comes in. It's time to turn a broadside and fire down on them. Okay, our brig is gonna move around the flank like that and fire in the rear of that one. So once they're all fully immobilized, we will do a couple of rear shots with either chain or just round shot, because one volley of round shot in the rear usually finishes them off completely. Or at least it fully breaks their morale. There's two flutes focusing down on this last ship in the rear, so they're not going to like that. And now there's one more ship that has a little rear mast with a couple of sails still on. And I like to keep my my guns trained on some of their sails. Now this one is facing me from the front, and the other two are actually facing my other ships from the front, so there's no way to avoid fire altogether. Okay. And I'm actually disappointed they still have the rear masts. Now their rear mast is gone, so we only need to focus fire with the chain shot on the last one, and he also loses. So he's gonna come in from behind, switch to round shot. And this doesn't look too well for us. Also switch to round shot. You two switch to round shot. Actually, what's hurting is mostly now it's surrendered, so hopefully we can still move towards a position that allows us to fire at these guys from an angle where they don't have field of fire on us, like here. We're gonna have to switch and now they're also going to surrender. There they are. So now we have 3 vessels that are mostly ruined. They're not sinking. The hulls are pretty intact. And it doesn't really matter how many of our guns we've lost or whatnot, because right now all we care about is to add these ships to our fleet and use them on the next turn to occupy the last of the trade nodes that we hadn't already occupied. So there we are. Of course he is raiding us. A fleet arrives. Now one brig is going to sit here. Look, here is Portugal. A sloop will sit here. And over here we have a 1, 2, 3 many trade vessels. Now this one's going to sit here. He may be needed to do more capture duty, so if he has to leave the spot, then this brig can maintain a position on the trade node, so as not to lose it. This flute we are going to retrain here at the Indies. And these three we are going to, well, one of them is going here for more trade nodes. The other two are going here in case Spain has diminished the number of pirate vessels over here. They're no longer sitting on the trade route here, so they've probably gone and taken up a trade node or been attacked by a fleet of Spanish ships, I suppose. So they're in this darkened area somewhere over there. We have recruited a sloop, which should go also to Brazil. Now those have already been given their orders. We have militia here. We are preparing for war with France. So we are, how are we doing economy wise? We will have an income of 1900. So let's recruit. Let's see what the upkeep is doing here. The native warrior is cheaper. Let's stick with them. We have constructed the gold mine is still there. We have an open gem pit here. What about here? It's under construction. And now we want schools, but we don't have the money. Did we spend anything just now? I don't think so. We have a navy. I want my schools first, so we'll save construction money for the next turn, so we can build a school here and here on the island. There. And once we've done that, we can start pumping out India men. And our 6th rate here, I'm gonna use it to destroy the pirate ports, so they'll have to go back to repairing them, and as long as they repair, they can't train any new units. So Austria is also at war with Poland and Lithuania. In terms of prestige, we aren't so far behind yet, but we will fall behind further. Research wise, 2 more turns for colleges, and diplomacy wise we are trading all we can right now, and now the raids are hurting us at Madagascar. But once we kill off that pirate fleet, it should be all fine. Those guys are on their way as well. A flute, and here France is on its way. I'd love to capture that one, but we're not at war with them yet. We will be, however. And for me there's nothing to gain right now really with capturing Brussels. Our army in our capital is nice, but where we need them the most is at our port. So these two Gonna move them in here. We now have almost half a stack, and they do not, so they're not gonna come out and fight us right now. So for now the balance is there. We have some money, but we're saving it. So as much work as the first turn has been for us, so easy it has been in the second one. Now let's see, we have 5.1% Protestantism, which isn't much. So our missionary here is gonna stay around for a while. And on the next turn we will have some fleets arriving here and here, also in Brazil. So let's move towards the end turn, unless I'm forgetting something, but I doubt it. One thing more, I want to see if we are allied to anyone else, really, to Britain, and that can stay like that. Prussia are allied to Poland, Lithuania. Usually they fight with Poland. Well, I'm not gonna ally with them, we're just gonna trade with them. So let's hit the end turn once more. And as I said, Brussels isn't very attractive for us right now, or maybe never, except for the end game. Oh, it's so close to France, its capital, that you're constantly defending against French stacks after stack. Here is our 6th rate up against a flute and 2 brigs. And I'm gonna save it up once more, and these vessels are quite welcome to us. The other side of the story is, once we have them, we also pay their upkeep, and they're pretty expensive. So with just one large vessel in each theater, I'm really quite content already. Here we are. He has his flute at the front. And it won't be too hard to take down their sails, but the brig and the sloop, they are faster. So once we slow this one down, the other two are going to overtake, and they can close the distance quite fast. I thought I had given a movement order. And I want them to sail with the wind, because with the wind in their rears, they will be at full sail. The more sail they are showing us, the better, and the more we can hit them. So there you go. First shots have been fired. Okay. Now already they are turning, so we're gonna turn as well. So as I said, I want them to move with the wind. And all of a sudden they've lost their general. Don't ask me how, but yes. Oh, that brig. It's gonna make us pay for our sins. Now he's moving at us with the wind, full sail. Oh, and he's a smart guy. Brigs, I found, are the only ones who actually do that. Especially when they are commanded by the French. Then they'll try and take broadsides. So I'm gonna prioritize the brig now. Take one more shot at him. And he's already routing. Now he has lowered his sails, which is of course a smart thing to do. But he's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna move this way now. Thing is, I don't want to get too close to the edge of the map. Now they've lost a mast as well. And now it's time for the fleet to be fully dismasted. And all the while we've lost 6 of our guns. So not funny at all. And our broadside to the left still has the majority of his guns. Now the commander and the brig both have surrendered, so I'm just gonna approach their front. Maybe some chain shot will make them change their mind. And yes, it does. So we've gained another 3 vessels that I'm adding to our navy. And then basically we should stop here. Because it'll probably turn us bankrupt. Or at least close. Oh, no. We're gaining a lot of income. We have recruited native auxiliaries right here. France still doesn't have an army, which is odd. Now here... Okay. I thought I had added them. Anyway, doesn't matter. We didn't really need them. So now we have money, which is also needed because we are building schools. This is the flute that needs a little retraining. Here we need to build another school. So in 3 turns we will have 3 schools, and also the ability to upgrade to colleges. Actually, it's only 1 more turn until we can upgrade this school into a college. Now Spain is not yet building up forces here. But they won't take forever. It won't stay like that forever. Still no fleets here. Where are the rest of our fleets? And this unit take that trade post. This one, take this. And that one, take this. So we'll have to wait another turn until we can do anything at the Ivory Coast or at Madagascar. However, what to do? I want to at least build a college in the Netherlands on the next turn. But let's also take on some line infantry. Do we have any cav here? We do, but it's only provincial. So eventually we may want to also hire the more professional cavalry here, a regiment of horse. So I'm not upgrading this yet. We first will wait for our college. This is gonna cost us 2,500. So this little farm here we can upgrade. No harm in that. Well, diplomacy wise, there's basically nothing else I want for the rest of the game. Maybe an alliance with Prussia if they're gonna dominate over here, because eventually should they take over Hanover, I don't want them to ever attack us. But besides that, I don't want to get into any more wars, save for one with France and Spain. And those two I'm pretty sure we can beat. But add more to that, save for the pirates and the natives and so on. I don't think it's very interesting for us right now. What I do want to do is eliminate the pirates altogether, so take over Trinidad and Tobago eventually, and the Leeward Islands. But probably within a couple of turns, France and Spain are gonna try and deal with us anyway. So this little thing, jumping back and forth with my 6th rate here, I can do for a while. Let's wait one more turn. Eventually though I want to repair the guns on this ship, because I think we're still one gun down. So end turn. Well, France hasn't declared war on us yet, nor has Spain. I'm not ready to take on New Spain. And usually France will declare against us anyway. Now Prussia. Here is the college. And let's go look for a new technology. Will be a while until we can continue to the next level. Social contract and physiocracy. This is gonna help us to create better, more beautiful buildings. Don't think I really need it now, though now. So we are a naval faction. And reduced upkeep is something we can do with very well. Increased movement space, the range on the campaign map as well. Now money wise we're okay. The flintlock cannon gives us faster reload time. Which one to take here? I'll first go for the movement range, because we'll be ferrying Indiamen across the sea a lot. Upkeep also nice, and we'll have a large navy, so it's gonna help us for a long while. Let's just go for the upkeep. After all, we are a trading nation, and trade is all about money, isn't it? Now France could get crazy things into its head as well, like for instance a naval invasion of the Netherlands, should they feel so inclined. And their army here is slightly below half stack. And I'm going to take on a unit of horse here. Of course. And while we're at it, also conservatory. Then over here it'll be a while until France is training any troops, it appears. On the next turn I want to have a sloop there. Trade's all good government. I forgot to review that, ministers. Because justice and army are assholes. So kick the army guy and we get another asshole in return. He's morally impaired, he's frugal and thrifty, and a jughead. So if I remember, I'll try and fire him on the next turn also. What do we have here? You're here too soon, my friend. Crap. We are at peace with the Mughals. A 6th rate. Now let's do a little exploration here. I'm afraid. I think the pirates are over there. Also, yeah, it's a pirate fleet, and they have 3 thingies: a 5th rate, a galleon, and a trade ship. Now, one more ship to go this way, and we'll take that trade post. And too bad we couldn't reach them, so we're gonna try and take a galleon and a 5th rate and a brig with just a 6th rate. And we are having similar problems here. It might be that all the while, did the navy of the Mughal Empire just defeat a 5th rate and
Ze zijn gehezen. Zijn de orders, kapitein. Klaar voor actie. Ja, kapitein. Wacht op nadere orders.
this is not funny at all. The Mughals actually beating 5 pirate vessels, and we're at peace with them. And I needed those 5 to capture the rest of the trade nodes.
Bevelen, kapitein.
So most likely we'll lose 1 trade node to the Mughals here.
Klaar voor actie.
And I don't know if we have anything underway. We've got... If we beat these 3, we have a surplus of 2, which we can then send over to Madagascar. So we can take 2 and one of the nodes will be captured by the Mughals, who will eventually be wiped out by the Marathas, and that may be a tiny window in which we can capture the last trade node. Regardless, we will have so many trade nodes already that I don't think we have much to fear from. Now here, if we keep our garrison too low, the AI is going to notice this somehow. So I'm gonna try and send this one over there and see if we can make a difference. I doubt it though. Alright. I wish I could fight pirates here. Maybe they're in some corner, but we'll have to just wait and see. Okay. Help me remember. Kick my minister. I want an army minister that actually reduces upkeep costs, and a justice minister that actually gives repression across all theaters to keep our people happy or repressed or whatever. Now this of course is exactly how we want it. Yeah. And oh man, doesn't say how many guns they have left, but if you look at their well, actually it does say. So the galleon is down to 26 guns and the 5th rate to 39, which is still a lot more than we have. And the bad thing about galleons is they can shoot towards the front. Anyway, we're gonna try. So they're coming at us with the wind, and we're gonna have to try and remedy that. So if they're gonna come at us half wind, I'm gonna let them come. Come at me. Here is the 5th rate, which is the flagship. The galleon. The Indiamen. They've lost over half their guns. And they've only lost 9 of them. With a lot of crew on still. Our crew is just 95. So let's see. The galleon with the wind can be quite fast. So we're gonna have to tempt them to... I mean, if I'm just gonna sit here, he's eventually going to fire his front guns at me. So I need to have him from a front angle. So a galleon is one of the tougher fights, really. It's probably more difficult than the 5th rate. And he's not turning. Usually he should try and turn his broadside towards me, but he doesn't. So I'm gonna also sail with the wind and fire my guns from this angle. There you go. And now try and keep away from both his broadside and his front guns. But with the wind it shouldn't be too difficult. The Indiaman just looks impressive. Actually, they were built to look that way. They were built to resemble 5th rates. Scare off pirates with any ideas. Okay. Yes, yes. No, 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 no. Don't you turn your broadside towards me. Now, maybe it doesn't look like much, but he already lost a lot of sail. And I'm very surprised that the 5th rate isn't coming any closer. And this could really be the end of us. One volley from his broadside and we're done. And same goes for the rakers at the front. If he gets a single shot of into our bow, oh, oops, there's the 5th rate coming. Okay, no, 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 no. We are being fired upon by the 5th rate. And we're gonna create some distance between us and them, cross their T, and approach them from the other flank, and hopefully position the galleon in between us and the 5th rate and block their line of sight. Because remember, we are faster than all of them. There you go. Another mast down. Ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Did we lose anything? We've lost 1 man and 1 gun. Now the fight with the 5th rate starts. He is just 1 knot slower than us. And that really isn't much. So he should reduce his sails like crazy fast. Ah, yes. Perfect. So he lost his general. And he lost a mast. But we are either with the wind or half wind, so he really is still quite maneuverable. It's not so much his speed that I fear, it's more the maneuverability. Because if he turns quickly and tries to give us a broadside, then we're in trouble. So now this Indiaman comes along. I don't know what they're thinking. We're gonna have to switch targets and also start hurting the Indiamen. Now, they may have only 2 guns, but their sails are really resilient. So, unless they lose a mast, right now we need a lucky shot for that. He just lost a mast. Okay. And I want to capture him. So if he routes off the map, then we're not going to capture it. So basically, he needs to lose another mast. And there you go. So now he's no longer getting away from us. But also he has not yet surrendered. And this 5th rate here is just not giving up. Ouch. Okay, I'm gonna again try and create some distance between us, because so far we've been lucky. They've been taking shots at us, but without much effect. However, at the same time, he still has 2 masts that just aren't coming down. So I want to stay away from both his broadside and his bow. I'll take one more shot and turn, and then he'll try and turn as well, give us a broadside. Okay, there you go, full sails, my friend. Please. Now we've lost another gun, and one mistake and still we lose morale. Okay, we need to get on their tails. And eventually we will, of course, but it's going to take time, because we have to move against the wind. Now he has a range advantage on us from the front. Okay. He's now routing. It doesn't mean that he doesn't fire though. So here we go. We're taking off full sail, and we're gonna find a rear position. With half wind. Thing is though, even with one mast, he can still continue to keep facing with us. Okay, so now he's not going anywhere anymore. So again, create some distance. And we're gonna move around him. We are nearing the edge of the map here, see that? Here it is. Aren't we? This hard red line means end of the map, end of the world. And this guy, as I said, I don't want him to escape. Now before we can shoot him from behind, we're going to have to take down the 5th rate. Because he's covering his ass really. And I wish there were like a 12 times speed. Of course it's realistic that against the wind you can't make speed. Yes, I totally agree. I don't object. It's just that now this galleon still has a very impressive broadside. One shot from them and we are totally done. So let's take 1-2 more shots and then go in pursuit of that India man. He's lowered sails or is trying to reach us against the wind, but with no sails on it's very complex to take down a mast. I need him to have sails on to have impact. So let's see if I can make him turn towards us while we go in pursuit of the Indiaman and sail half sails like we are right now. Not even, but the direction we're going, we're headed. But I have to stay out of his reach or he's going to... He could one-shot us with his broadside, because not one-shot, but to the point where we very much lose morale. Because we have half his hull strength. No, we have half his gun strength. I don't know where the map's edge is over here, but he sure as hell isn't getting away. No, he's turning, but not coming. There's only 10 men sailing the ship with 2 guns. Now let's see how they respond once we sit on their behinds. They have surrendered already. So that's that. And now he's coming at us with full sail. And we're headed back towards him to finish off that last mast. However, the guns tend to be trained on midship, while his mast is precisely at the front. And I can't approach him from the rear if he keeps having one mast and sails, because he'll just keep turning and turning. One advantage though is that now he is away from the galleon, and I'm gonna even try pull him away from the galleon further, because once he's away from his galleon friend, I can take down the galleon without much trouble. And I want to capture and repair that 5th rate. How are we doing gun wise? 16 on the other bow, so now he's facing 16 guns. Okay, now he's shooting at me from the rear. Okay, those were my 14. Oh, oops. Now I said away from the galleon, not towards it. There you go. So now we're going around him. He should be totally immobilized. Mostly immobilized. That little bit over there is not going to make a difference anymore. So we'll go around, train our guns with round shot to his rear, 1 or 2 volleys, and they should capitulate. And then we've won 3 vessels at the cost of 2 guns and 3 men. And the 5th rate can do all this pretty much exactly the same way, just twice as fast, because he has twice the firepower. And at the game start we are rewarded. We're given 1 5th rate in the Netherlands, and I needed to stay there to defend basically our main port against France and eventually maybe Spain. But then France also comes with quite the number of 6 rates. They have quite a few at game start. So they have 1 5th rate and then 2, maybe 3 6th rates in France. So once we capture our single 5th rate, their single 5th rate, along with 2, 3 6th rates, while keeping ours, it basically enables us to protect one port, our main port in Amsterdam, and then go on a little tour with the other one towards France and Spain. And eventually, once we're into the game, I don't need galleons. So he has surrendered, and now the galleon is gonna come next. So Indiamen are a good kind of ship to place on trade nodes, because they provide profits and they don't cost too much upkeep. Galleons cost upkeep, and so do flutes. Flutes have considerable speed and firepower, but money-wise, now we've captured them. Okay, so I'm not taking any prize money. Please acknowledge. Fleet arrives. Oh, how nice. This is a flute, which is a trade vessel and has some firepower. So it's gonna sit here and protect the entire area of Brazil. Oh. Saxony has been destroyed, I guess, by Poland. No? Oh, Prussia. Yeah, so I'm rooting for Prussia, really. Oh yeah, ministers. Army guy. Oh, justice guy is just improved. It seems that in the Netherlands there's just nobody who has a single clue about army. They just don't. Okay, so now compared to Spain, we outgun them. France has an army of full +2, half +2. We have 2 guns, 2 cavalry, militia, and 4 line. And a wee bit of money, but not too much. Those disconcerted about this. Now the Mughals are here. It's unbelievable that, but their navy has beaten the pirates over here, which are my favorite navy to capture, because it includes a 5th rate, and as I said, there aren't too many around at game start. So one Indiaman is going to sit here. The galleon is going to no, yes. Galleon along with the 6th rate are going to sit here. The 5th rate is going there for repairs. So we have one sloop going to Madagascar to capture some more. Ah, wait, little mistake there. And also going to East Africa. So with a little luck, we should have 2 more in the next turn. And I guess we'll not ever hear or see from the pirates anymore, because their ports are continuously being destroyed and they have no... Hey! A race-built galleon pirate ship. God, I'd like to capture that. Huh. Anyway, I want a sloop on port destruction duty. Still no army here. We're going to need barracks. And more of a navy here. Soon we'll have a 5th rate in this area. But I think for my trade air theaters to be safe, I'm really at least 1 5th rate short, but a few more. So now we are approaching the point where we actually would like to have a war with France, because there's this entire fleet for the taking, the 2 6th rates and a 5th rate that I can capture with this single 5th rate, and they have a very profitable territory right next door, which is entirely undefended. So I think that is very funny. Anyway, research, construction. One more turn for our schools to complete. And I think 1 turn for 1 or 2 more vessels to arrive here. And then we've pretty much taken all 4 of the trade theaters, save for maybe 2 nodes, trade nodes. And we have kept our capitals safe, I thought. What is this? Alright. They have an army of only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's leave 1, 2, 3. How old is this guy? 67. He may die soon. So let's not count on him as a unit. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna pull 1 gun to our capital. I'm gonna pull 1 line infantry into the capital. Now they have 3 horsemen, 3 militia. This is all, not all militia style. And lights. However, there's no line infantry here. Pikemen. These 3 are also headed this way. Because you never know. Hanover just might get cocky on us. And same goes for Westphalia, by the way. We are making enough money. More recruitment here should be our next priority. I think what I'll do is leave 1 line infantry in the port. Put these guys over here. So should they be attacked, then we have this as a reinforcement army. But if the capital gets attacked, then we also have a reinforcement army. And I think this should conclude our episode. And if you've enjoyed this particular one and there's stuff that you feel you need to point out or just want to comment on, please do leave a comment down below. Also like, share, subscribe this video if you want to be notified on future content, and don't want to miss. I'm going to try and bring this series out twice a week. I mainly focus on Medieval 2, and I've played plenty of Empire as well in the past, so I still do enjoy this. But I can't have multiple campaigns going in a single game, or not too many if I want to play all the games. So I'm going to try and boot up Napoleon Total War with the British, and Rome 2 Total War, Divide et Impera, and play the Caledonians, I think I will. And in Attila I'm thinking to go for the Magyars and try and settle them in Hungary. So those are just a couple of ideas and plans. I want to play Game of Thrones Total War, submod for medieval as well, but then again that's again medieval. So those are the plans. If you want to continue watching these campaigns and series, do subscribe, and then see you next time.